Hello and welcome to this session. Let's go over the objectives of this session. First, we'll get to know the sed command. We will break down the sed command into various sections like options, address and action, input file or files, etc. Then we will try out multiple exercises using sed. Let's get started. Sed command has various functions. First is selecting particular lines from input files. Second is selecting lines from input files based on regular expression patterns. This function is almost similar to that of the grep command. Third is performing substitutions based on patterns. This is by far the most useful and the most commonly used feature of sed. Let's see the format of the sed command. First comes the command itself, sed, then the options. Some of the commonly used options are -n, -r. These are not mandatory. Then we have the address and action. An address is a way of selecting particular lines from an input file. In other words, address enables the sed command to process only a subset of the input file. Addressing can be of two types, line addressing and context addressing. We'll see examples for both in this session going forward. Action could be to simply print these selected lines, or maybe something more complex like doing string substitutions on the selected lines. Both address and action are written together without any spaces in between and enclosed in a pair of single quotes. Finally, we have the input file. Like we saw in grep, the input file can be a single file or even multiple files. Or you can even use the pipe symbol to feed output from another command to the sed command. Let's jump to the first exercise. We'll use an input file named employees.txt. Our requirement is to select line numbers 2 up to line number 5, both inclusive, from the input file. We have the -n option. -n enables the silent mode operation in sed. I'll explain this -n option in detail when we are trying this out on our terminal. Next is the address and action part. Address is 2, 5. This addressing is called line addressing. It selects the line numbers from 2 to 5 from the input file. Next is the action. We have given P as the action here. P simply prints the selected lines. So together our address and action part reads 2, 5 P. And we enclose the address and action part in single quotes. Then finally we have our input file employees.txt. Let's bring up our terminal and try this out. Let's ls first. We have our input file employees.txt. Let me show you the contents of employees.txt, which is our input file for all exercises in this session on sed. Cat employees.txt. This file contains employee records. Each record contains 3 fields, with fields being separated by commas. The first field is the employee name, which consists of first name and last name. Then we have a comma. Then the next field is designation, which can be developer or manager. Another comma. Then the third and the last field is the salary, which is of the format, say 70,000 USD. USD stands for US dollars. So we have 6 such records in this file, as you can see. Now let's try out our sed command on this file. So sed -n 2,5 p in single quotes employees.txt. So this works as expected. It selected lines 2 through 5 from the input file and printed them. We still haven't explained the significance of -n. To understand that, let's rerun the previous command but without the -n. So what do you see? All lines from the input file are getting printed. The 2,5 line selection does not seem to work now. The reason is that sed works on streams of lines. In fact, the name sed itself is an abbreviation of stream editor. It takes an input file, converts it into a stream, and processes it line by line. Now the important point in this is, by default, sed prints out everything coming in the input stream into the output. This is the default behavior, and this is what we saw when we executed sed without the -n option. So what does -n do? -n enables the silent mode in sed. So the default behavior of sed that spits out everything in the input file, that behavior is suppressed by the -n option. So if you give -n, it will only process the lines as specified in your address and do the required action on it as specified. So that completes our first exercise. Let's move on to exercise number 2 now. This is quite similar to the previous one. We had the line address as 2,5 in the first exercise. Here instead we have 2, $. Dollar is a special line address that refers to the last line in the file. So since our input file has 6 lines in total, 2, $, is the equivalent of 2, 6. The action is the same, P, which stands for print. Let's try it out. So sed -n 2, $, P in single quotes employees.txt. As expected, lines 2 through 6 got selected from the input file. This was another example of line addressing. Let's move to the next exercise now, exercise number 3. Here we use line addressing again. We use 2, 5, but note an exclamation mark right after. This exclamation mark stands for negation. So it negates the line selection. So if we say 2, 5 exclamation, it means select all lines from the input file excluding the lines 2 through 5. As the input file has only 6 lines, this in effect means select line 1 and line 6 alone. Let's try it out. So sed -n 2, 5 exclamation P in single quotes employees.txt. So as expected, only line 1 and line 6 got selected. Lines 2 through 5 got excluded. Let's move on to the next exercise now. This is exercise number 4. All 3 exercises that we saw until now used line addressing. From this exercise onwards, we are going to use context addressing. We will see what context addressing is. So in context addressing, instead of specifying lines like, for example, 2, 5, we specify a pattern. This pattern could be a simple string or a complex regular expression. In this example, we'll use a simple string. This pattern is enclosed between two forward slashes. So if we use context addressing, sed will search all lines for this pattern that we gave between the forward slashes. If any line contains that pattern, then that line is selected. Because the action is again P, the line is simply output. Let's try it out on our terminal. So sed -n /lee/p in single quotes employees.txt. We had one employee named Edwin Lee, so because that contained the string Lee, it matched. So only that particular line got selected. Let's move on to the next exercise now. This is exercise number 5. The format is similar to the previous exercise, but instead of a simple string, we will use a regular expression this time. If you are not comfortable with regular expressions, you can check the bonus section of this course for help. For this exercise on sed, I will go forward assuming that you have a basic understanding of regular expressions, or else I will have to digress, which is kind of distracting and makes us lose focus on sed. So this regular expression selects all employee names that begin with a vowel. We enclose this regular expression within a pair of forward slashes, just like in the previous exercise. Then we have our action P. The context address and the action together are enclosed in a pair of single quotes. Let's try this out. So sed -n / the regular expression /p in single quotes employees.txt. So two lines got selected. These two lines have employee names that start with a vowel. Edwin and Amy, both names start with a vowel. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise, exercise number 6. So in all the exercises that we saw so far, the objective of using sed was to select certain lines, or in other words, a subset of the input file. Sed has another very useful feature. In fact, this is what sed is most commonly used for, and that is substitution. You can search for specific patterns in input files, and if the patterns are found, you can substitute it with replacement strings. Let's see how that is done. So in our input file employees.txt, if you recall, we had the salary of each employee as the last field in all the records. Now in the salary numeric amount, I want to replace all zeros with ones. For some reason, I don't like the digit 0. To do this, I'll start my addressing with the letter S. S stands for substitution, followed by a /, followed by the search pattern. So the pattern I want to search for is 0. Next comes another /, then I should give the replacement string. So I want zeros to be replaced with ones, so I give my replacement string as numeral 1. Finally, we end with another /. Note that we do not need to provide the -n option when using sed for doing substitution. We are using a different option here, -i. The -i option instructs sed to do the substitutions on the original file itself. This is not the default behavior of sed, so you will have to use the -i option so that sed does the substitutions in place. Let's try this out now. First, I'll show you the input file contents again so that you don't lose perspective. Cat employees.txt. Now we'll run our sed command. So sed -i s/0/1/ in single quotes employees.txt. The prompt returns. The original file would have got changed. Let's see it. So cat employees.txt. Let's take the first line. Tom Smith's salary was 70,000, which contained 4 zeros. Now we expected all the 4 zeros to get changed to ones. That doesn't look correct. It looks like only the first 0 got changed to 1. The others were not touched. It's the same with all the employee records. So what did we do wrong? Well, we didn't do anything wrong. That's the way sed works. Instead of giving you the answer right away, I will explain it to you with the help of another exercise. So this is exercise number 7. Compared to the previous exercise, there is only one change. Notice that in the address and action part, we have a /g at the end. By default, sed does substitution only once per line. When it finds its first match on a line, sed does the substitution, stops there and moves to the next line. But our intention is different. We want sed to perform the substitutions for all such patterns for every line. This is what the G option does. G stands for global. So if you postfix a /g at the end, sed will not stop at the first one. Instead, sed will do the substitutions for all such matches and will repeat this for all lines. Let's try this out now. First, I'll show you the input file contents again so that you don't lose perspective. Cat employees.txt. Let's run our sed command. So sed -i s/0/1/g in single quotes employees.txt. The prompt returns. The original file would have got changed. Let's see it. So cat employees.txt. So you can see that all instances of 0 have now been replaced with 1. Let's get to our next exercise now. Exercise number 8. Here we will do the reverse. We will change the ones back to zeros. There is one more thing we are doing different here. Instead of simply saying S, we start with 4, $S. So here we bring in line addressing also into the mix. So now sed will consider only the lines 4 through 6 for substitution. Let's try this out now. First, I'll show you input file contents again so that you don't lose perspective. Cat employees.txt. Let's run our sed command. So sed -i 4, $1/0/g in single quotes employees.txt. So you can see that for lines 4 through 6, all instances of 1 have now been replaced with 0. For the other lines, that is line 1 through line 3, the substitutions did not happen. Let's move to our next exercise, exercise number 9. If you recall, in our input file, the last column or field contains the salary for the employee. What if I only want the numeric amount in there? I want to remove the USD. So in this sed command, our search pattern is USD and our replacement pattern is nothing. Yes, you simply write one / immediately after without anything in between. So what this will do is, it will find all USDs and replace it with nothing, which is in effect removing all USDs. Let's try this out now. I'll show you the input file contents again. Cat employees.txt. You can see that all records end in USD. Let's run our sed command now. Sed -i s /USD /nothing /g in single quotes employees.txt. So in order to confirm that the substitution happened, let's cat our file again, cat employees.txt. So you can see that all USDs have now been removed. Move to the next exercise, exercise number 10. This is also a substitution, but with a difference. Up until now, in all the substitutions that we did, the replacement string had nothing to do with the original string. In this example, the replacement string is going to be a function of the original string. That is, what if we take the name field from the input file? As of now, the name is in the format first name space last name in the input file. What if we want this to be changed to last name space first name? So here our replacement is not a fixed string, rather it's a function of the original string. To achieve this, we need what is called capture groups defined in our search pattern regular expression. You can refer the bonus section in this course to learn more about capture groups in regular expressions. For this exercise on sed, I will go forward assuming that you have a basic understanding of capture groups in regular expressions, or else I will have to digress, which is kind of distracting and makes us lose focus on sed. So we capture first name into capture group 1 and last name into capture group 2 using our search pattern regular expression. In our replacement string, we refer back to them by saying \2 space \1, which translates to last name space first name. Also note that we are using a new option -r here. -r enables the extended set of regular expressions for sed. As per the POSIX standard, POSIX standards, regular expression symbols are divided into two sets, the basic set and the extended set. The basic set is enabled by default for sed as well as grep command. For grep, we saw how to enable the extended set by providing the -E option. For sed, to enable the extended set, the option is different. It is -r. Let's try this out now. I'll show you the input file contents again. Cat employees.txt. Name space last name. Let's run our sed command now. So sed -r s / the search pattern regular expression with the capture groups / the replacement string by referring to the capture groups, another / G in single quotes employees.txt. So in order to confirm that the substitution happened, let's cat our file again, cat employees.txt. So you can see that all names now appear as last name space first name. So that was our last exercise for sed. Sed can be a really versatile command to have in your Unix skill set. Try playing around with the options that you have learned so far. Let's summarize what we learned in this session. We saw how sed can select specific lines from files by using line addressing. We also saw how sed can select specific lines based on regular expression patterns. Finally, we also saw how sed can be used for substitution using regular expression patterns. With this, we come to the end of this session on sed. Let's move on to the next session now.